Howdy folks, welcome to episode 12. Today we are going to do some more work on the base. And before we get started, I wanted to show you some of the mining I've done that would probably be boring to watch as an episode. And so I've put it up here. Let's see, it would be there. Yeah, not down there, right up there. Yeah. So, yeah, that's my adventures in iron mining. I went and cleaned out a 6800, and that was after the 2500 that I cleaned out the first time. So, yeah, it was big enough. That's the one that I was able to park the HV inside, and now I just flew the ship into it, as you can see. So, yeah, I cleaned that one out. So I've gotten a total of 9300 iron out of all the mining I've done so far, and yeah, I'm going to need to do some more too. So that's not all. Let's see, I've got food here. I need to grab that so that I don't starve here while I'm working. And now I've got the constructor working on blocks here as well, because we're going to need 1,000 more blocks. So that's going to be quite a bit of... Actually, let me add a bunch more on there. I think the upper level is probably going to take something like 5,000 blocks. So yeah, I'm going to have to be doing some more mining before this is over. So let's jump in the ship here, and I'll show you the other stuff I did here. Was I finished off the building in the middle and started on the outside, the down shafts, the drop shafts, whatever. So I started on those, and those are just the outer shell, and then I put some of the, I think this is about a third of the amount of blocks I'll end up using, and marked stuff out up here so that it's ready. Now you may notice I changed the, I was just playing around with the file for Aqua, and so you can change the fog colors, you can change the atmosphere color, you can change the water color between blue, green, or brown. The default on Aqua is blue, and then Omicron has green, and the whatchamacallit, I think Omicron has green, and then the Lava Planet has brown water. I don't actually remember seeing water on the Lava Planet, but it's there apparently. So, yeah, anyway, so I haven't decided whether I'm going to keep that or not. I'm not sure what kind of color scheme I want to do for the planet, so I'll probably end up toying around with that some more. I think the purple fog probably has to go, though, because that's kind of obnoxious, I think. But anyway, yeah, let's get started on this. So I need to mark out some stuff and not turn off the ship. I need to remember not to turn off the ship. And make sure I keep the fuel filled up so it keeps running. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to count off 30. I think it's 48. Yeah, 48. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 30, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 40, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that is the 48th block. So that's where we want to start. And see, I'm jumping there again. It just does this little skip jump every few steps for some reason. And I'm not sure why it does that, but it's really dangerous when you're not running in a straight line or you're running near an edge. Let's see. So I want to jump in here, and oh, you know what else? I need to set the plane too. So let me do that. Set our symmetry plane. There we go, and do it there. Okay. Let's see. Okay, so yeah, we're going to come out here and we're going to start out here. And let's see here. I want to start on this side. And I'm trying to decide whether I want my symmetry plane here or the other way. Okay, so anyway, let me get out of the ship here, and we will start. So I've got it marked down here where I want to put the lights, so I'm basically going to do that again. And I need to do this. Get down here so it'll give me a little more wiggle room. Okay. So we're going to go 2, and then we're going to go 1, and then 2. So this is, as you can see up in the corner, whoops, as you can see up in the corner, this is a new version again. This is 4.2, so they've added a few features. Now I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 diagonals. Yeah, they've added a few new features, so we'll look at those in a little bit. Some of them are actually related to the HV, which I use, so I'm actually kind of excited about some of those. It looks like they've increased the hover height, which should help with the colliding. Is that 4? Yeah. And 5. But yeah, they've increased the hover height and to 3 meters, and they've also made it so that the plants are not colliding again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, and then I'm going to go 2, 1, 2 in the other direction. So let's see. 2, 1, and it did it to me again. Okay. Alright, so 2, 1, 2. I can get rid of that thing. Let's see, I have a repair tool here somewhere, don't I? Yeah. Okay. Get rid of that thing. I can't reach it. There. So yeah, the other thing they've done is they, I'm stuck again. The other thing they did is they, when they changed the blocks, these remove with 3, but these still remove with a higher count. So basically the regular blocks are faster to remove than everything else, which, you know, most of what you're doing is with regular blocks, so it's not super horrible, but it still needs improvement, shall we say, in my opinion. And I'm sure they will. There's plenty of, you know, tweaks and everything else and major changes to go. 2, 3, 4. One of them that drives me nuts when I'm building is the slow switching, because it'll do this and I'll go to switch and then it won't let me switch, or it won't let me switch immediately. So it when you change items from this block to this block, you have to wait for that little clunk. 2, 3, 4, 5, and then another 4 below that. Okay. We're coming back out this way. Four. But yeah, that little quirk is why I end up a lot of times throwing on a block where it's not supposed to be. It drives me nuts. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of the 2s. So like that. That's exactly what I mean. Is it just did that? Oh, I totally royally screwed that up. Okay. Fix this, because otherwise I'm going to lose my place when I go to... Yeah, I'm going to lose my place when I go to continue with that if I leave it like that, so I need to get that out of there. Okay, so that is a 2 from there. Okay. Yeah, this would actually be a lot faster. Building would be a lot faster if it weren't for those little quirks. Okay. That's 1. 2. 3. 4. Is that right? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes. Okay. And one more here. And then there's going to be another block on the end of that. And then we're going to have one come out on a diagonal. So this is the corner. So I just have to build this same thing out across the other axis. So why don't I do that, and I'll come back and show you guys when I've gotten that done. Be right back. Okay folks, we're back, and I've done quite a bit of work on this and got the basic outline, and we'll take a look here. So, whoops, helps if I hold down the Alt key while I'm doing this. Yeah, this is the basic outline of the second floor, and I actually ran out of, I used up all of those blocks that I had, plus all the ones that have been constructed. So there's our basic outline for the second floor. And I'm going to put some more stuff over on the ends of the claws too, up here. These supports over here, I'm going to put some, these are basically going to be defense areas. So yeah, it looks pretty cool so far. Yeah, I probably need to get rid of that purple fog. That does look pretty stupid. Not really that fond of it. So anyway, you know, there's some new HV stuff. So why don't we go take a look at that stuff before we finish up here, and I'll meet you back at the base. Okay folks, we're back again, and I'm back at the base, and I've got some plates making and all that stuff, and some blocks making. So here's one of the things they did is they changed the whatchamacallit, they changed the backpacks so that it's a new texture, new look for that. They've also added a turret, an HV turret that is a whoops, it's trying to hit the base. This is a turret, right? This is an artillery. Did I make? Yeah, it says artillery. Okay. Why is it so huge? This is an artillery hovercraft thing. So maybe they huh. Let me try this. Let me do this and see if it just needs a bigger space to sit on. If that's what it is. It looks like it's huge. Let's see here. Come on. There we go. There it is. Okay. So there's the... Oh man, that thing is huge. Oh, that is giant. Okay, I'm going to take this plasma thing off here. If it'll let me. To any time today. Wow. That thing takes forever. Okay. Okay, so... Oh man, that thing looks huge. Let's turn this thing on, and let's see if we can find some... So here, the hover distance is now going up to 3 meters. And also... ooh, there's something. And also... the plants are not supposed to be colliding anymore. So, what am I, underneath it? Okay. Let's see. Let's do our jetpack. Okay, let's see what this thing does. It goes through the ground. Nice. Cool. Okay, that's pretty cool. I like that. Is my hovercraft running away, or am I just running away? Okay. Maybe I'm just running from myself. Okay, yeah, cool. And there's some other stuff. Oh, I must have destroyed my front thruster somewhere. Yeah, there's some other stuff here too. Can I not? Okay, there he is. Yeah, grab this meat while I'm here, because I still need a decent supply of that to make food. I moved up to the canned food, as you may have noticed, so that I get a little bit more, because I've got the tomatoes going, so I get a little bit more out of the food there. So yeah, there's the hovercraft, and I can turn that off, and they're supposedly not nice. Nice. Oh, it's just gonna keep going. All right. Yeah, there's nice. It's gonna block me out of my house. I need to get in there fast. I wonder if I get crushed or what. Nope, it just pushes me out of the way. Okay. Nice. I'm not gonna be able to get out of my house now. Anyway, they also changed a couple of the other textures and models. They did it's got the new oxygen tanks. As you can see, it's surrounded. I kind of like the old ones, but it does match the style of the base, and the new constructors and that stuff. And also up here, they've got new corn, as you can see over there. Let me go over this way because I've got wheat too. So there's a new wheat model and a new corn model. So it's an interesting corn. Doesn't look anything like real corn, but the leaves and the shapes are familiar, but there's never seen corn look like that. Looks cool though. I would say that's still realistic, that, you know, we might have come up with better breeds of corn that have 50 stalks or 50 heads on each stalk or something. Ears, those are ears of corn. Anyway, yeah, so I've got a couple thousand more iron that I'm making plates with, and I'm making hull blocks, ton of hull blocks, so I can try to fill that thing in. So I'm going to let these finish up, and then I will meet you guys over at the other base again, the new base. See you in a minute. Okay guys, we're back, and I've finished filling in the top part here. And so I've got the outline. There's a few spots you can see that I need to clean up on the outline, but it's all filled in, and I've got not many blocks left. Okay, yeah, not too many blocks left. So yeah, I've got some more stuff to add on to this. I'm not sure what color scheme to do. I've been trying to think of ideas. You know, it's kind of limited. You basically got red, green, blue, and yellow. So, I mean, you know, you're probably not going to use all of them unless, you know, you're trying to make a sorry board. But, you know, I was trying to think of color schemes. And also, as you can see, I changed the atmosphere back, so it looks a lot better. I did leave the water green instead of blue. It looks kind of nice, in my opinion, on this color scheme. But yeah, if you have any ideas of what color scheme I might use for this to make it look good on Akua, you know, I was trying to decide between things like, you know, blue and yellow, or maybe black and yellow. I don't know, black and red, red and gray. You know, let me know if you have any ideas. What do you think would look cool on this background and everything? There's still a lot more decoration and that kind of stuff to go, and I'm planning on adding a third floor here that's not going to be it's not going to be nearly as big as the second floor. That was pretty big, but yeah, I want to do a third floor and an observation tower up on the top. So yeah, I'd like to figure out some kind of color scheme, basic color scheme, and do that too. So yeah, we've got that, and we've got this stuff down here to decorate on the bottom, put in the windows and everything like that. So I've got some more work to do on that, but I think we're gonna take a break from base construction again and go do some more adventuring next episode. But yeah, be sure to if you have any ideas, leave me a comment on what colors you'd like, and you know, I can try out different things and see if anything looks good on this planet. So yeah, join us for episode 13, and we'll go do some adventuring.